there again guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then my name is Claire and welcome, thanks for joining. Why not hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you're visiting? I upload videos every single week. So this week what I'm going to do is I'm going to review the ABH Norvina 4 palette. I've had this quite a while. My husband bought me this back in July. Just not had the opportunity to have a play with it yet. He bought me this for a wedding anniversary present. These are the types of things that I ask for to add to my collection all the time. Send him the link, he buys it, and then I get it as a gift. So, you know, can you imagine what my Christmas list is going to be like? Anyway, without any more talking, let's jump right into the video. So guys, that is the brows done. For these I used my Soap and Glory brow pencil with a bit of the Pears soap and my MAC Prep and Prime fixing spray. I have this one in coconut, it's amazing. I just love the smell of this, it's so good. So for this video I'm going to use mostly high-end products apart from the Soap and Glory pencil. I think this was about £9, so it's not mega expensive. I thought while I was using a more high-end palette I would share with you my more expensive, or what I would consider expensive, products and see how we go with those. So I'm going to carve out my brows and set the base for my lids, and I'm going to use a P. Louise cosmetic base in 02 Rumor. I love this, but again this is, I think it's like £10 and you don't get a lot, so I do consider this a little bit pricey because there are concealers that you can use that are a couple of quid, like the Revolution concealers, but I do love this. So I'm just going to take my concealer brush and I've made sure it's nice and flat, and I'm going to carve out my brows now. So I am trying to go for a little bit more of a soap brow where my brows are concerned, but not too much because I don't think I suit it that much, and also I don't have a lot of brow to get that wispy brow look. I'm just trying to work with what I've got, if I'm being honest. I have considered getting my brows done, however I'm a little bit scared because you see and hear so many horror stories of it going wrong that I would just be so scared. I mean, I do have a bit of Botox, but I trust the lady that does that for me, and if it went wrong it would wear off after a few months, whereas the brows, they're pretty permanent, aren't they? So it does scare me a little bit. So what I always do is I always carve out my brows first, and then I'll use it to do a base. I don't like to put too much on the back of my hand because I don't want to waste any products really. If anybody has got any recommendations or anything for soap brows or a more wispy brow, then just let me know down below. I know a lot of people don't carve the top, but I always feel like it just gives me a little bit of a neater brow, if you know what I mean. And then what I generally tend to do is I take a fluffy brush, this is just a cheap brush, and I just blend that in. I've got no primer or anything on, I just feel like this gives me a nice neat brow, which is what I like really. And it's all about what we like. So I'm just going to put a base on here now. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to do one eye at a time, because otherwise I feel like we'd be here forever and ever. So I'm just going to take my fluffy brush and just pat that down, just make sure there's no creases or anything on that. Say that's just covered up any imperfections, any veins I've got on my lid, because I do have quite veiny lids, and it does a really good job. So the palette, I've looked at this palette, there was no way it was sitting in my drawer, my new in drawer since July, and not looking at it. So it's a really sturdy palette. It's quite slim really. It's really nice. I love the colour. It's like magnetic as well. It's plastic as well. Ooh, take that out. I'll try and do this without blinding you, because there's a huge mirror. This whole thing is the mirror, which I love as well. And that is the palette there. Obviously upside down, because the mirror is down here. It's just gorgeous. I mean, take a look at that. Now, I liked this because it had some really bright, bold colours in there. I mean, we've got this bold yellow, we've got this bright pink, which is E5 and D2. But we've also got some neutrals and some really warm undertones. So we've got all of these like neutrals here, some oranges. So I thought once the summer comes round again, it would be good to get that really nice pop of colour in there, because you've got E5, C2, E1, all really, really bright colours, but we've got some really, really nice muted, like autumny colours in there. So I think I may go for a little autumn look today, seeing as we are getting towards the autumn season that everybody seems to love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my crease, which I always do. And what am I going to take? I think I'm going to take B2, which is this colour right here, and I'm just going to bob that into my crease. So it's a bit powdery, but you know, it's not too bad. I'm just going to pat that in. Now, how does everybody feel about ABH palettes? I love them, but I do feel they're very, very expensive. But there are more expensive palettes out there. I do like the Modern Renaissance. I do have the Subculture as well, which is a little bit controversial, I suppose, because it's not the easiest to blend, which I would agree with. It is not the easiest to blend at all, but I think once you kind of play with it and get to grips with it, then it is a nice palette. Okay, so not really much fallout there, considering it was a little bit powdery. It's nice, I do like it. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, just to diffuse that out, I'm going to go in with the colour that's next to it, which is B3, which is like a brown orange, and I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush. What am I going to take? I'm going to take that on my Zoeva fluffy brush. I just love this brush, it's just amazing. I'm going to give that a little swirl. A little bit powdery again, but not too much. And I'm just going to lightly diffuse that out and blend those colours together. That's really nice. I think you only need a very, very light hand and a very light amount with this. Really, really light. So I'm just going to bring that a little bit down there. Carry on bringing that through. I always tap any excess off my brush. That's lovely. That's a really, really deep. See, that's a nice transition, but I think it would also be a nice crease colour as well, because there is some lighter colours that you could use as transitions. There is A4 here, there is D1 here as well, which you could use as a crease colour also. But seeing as we're going a bit wintry and autumny today, I thought that would be nice. I do like that, that's nice. So that went through quite quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fluffy Morphe MB23 brush. I'm just going to give it a blend with a clean brush and just make sure we're not putting too much product on and we're getting it all nice and diffused. So just blend that through. That's lovely, that's really, really nice. I am drawn to E4, which is this deep colour here, and I'm thinking of putting that on the outer corner and then maybe giving us a little bit of sparkle. You know, we need a bit of sparkle in our lives, don't we? Do I put that all over the lid? It may be a bit too close to this colour, so I'm going to swatch them. So that is B2, this one, and this one is E4. So I'm just going to swatch them on my arm and see what they look like together. See, they are very, very similar, aren't they? So what I may do is just put E4, which is that one, just in the outer corner, just to deepen it up a bit, and then do like a bit of a cut crease, because I don't want all the colours to kind of merge into one colour. I want it to be nice and diffused. You can tell that I've got a few colours on my lid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Makeup Geek defined crease brush, and I'm just going to swirl that into E4, tap it off, and I'm just going to put that on the outer corner there. See, it is very similar to B2 once on the eye, but it is really, really a lovely colour. I don't know if we can see that. You see that? It's really nice, really nice. Loving it. Just bring that up a little bit, just a smidgen. That is very autumny. I love this for the autumn. Like berry colours, not just all browns, but really nice warm berry tones. I wouldn't go in too much with it. Once I've swirled the brush and there is some excess powder, and you can see that there, some excess powder, I'm literally just dipping it into that and then putting that onto my outer outer corner there, rather than bringing up more product. So there, that's deepened that out lovely. Really, really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut that crease. For that I'm going to take this angled like wing liner brush. I just find this gives me a bit more. You can see all the powder on that palette now. Can you see it? There's a lot of excess there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut that crease with this flat brush, and I'm going to add a pop of shimmer. So I'm just going to start on the inner corner. I just find it easy with the angled brush to work, and then I always can dip into my concealer brush as well if I need to. I don't like to go too much on the top because I do have hooded lids. They're quite deceiving. If I go too much and then I open my eyes, it ends up kind of like up here, which is not what we want. Just tap that through. I just tap it slightly and then bring it down. And a lot of people, they put it on and then open their eyes and it's where they need it to be. But for me, with smaller eyes, that doesn't always work. It can just go everywhere. I'm just going to go in with my concealer brush and just pat that out. Just switch back and forth between the brushes. See, I've opened my eye now and it is up there, but I know that I can sort that because it's not a lot of it. See, I've opened my eye again and we can see all that up there. It's a nightmare, but again I can sort it. I do it all of the time. I should learn my lesson really, and I don't. So I need to continue to look down or I will make a mess of this. And I'm going to go in with this flat shade out brush, and I'm going to go in with, oh, what do I go with? Do I want this reflective gold, or do I want this really pink berry here? I think I'm going to swatch them. I should have made the choice where I did my eyelid. I'm going to swatch A5, I'm going to swatch A2, and I'm going to swatch C3, which is a really, really pressed pigment. This one is A5. This one is A2. Ooh. And this one is E3, which is the pressed pigment. Oh, no, they're all not so nice. I think I'm going to go in with A2. That one's kind of calling to me, but E3 is just amazing as well. That's just an amazing, amazing pressed pigment. And now there's glitter all over my arm. I'm going to take my flat brush and I'm going to tap that in A2 and see how much product we can pick up with just the brush. It may set down a good base for me to then dip my finger in and add a little bit with my finger, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it's not, we're not getting a lot there. Give it a little rub on the finger. Oh, much better. See, this is literally always the case. This is why when you swatch it on your arm you don't really get what it should look like. It doesn't really give a good reflection of what you're going to get, but it gives you a good idea of what the colour is, which is why I do that. It gives you a really good reflection of what the colour will look like with other colours, which is kind of why I do it. But how the product performs, you're not really going to get any of that from a swatch, really. Okay, so I'm just going to dip the end in there and just tidy that up there, so we can see how much tidier that is looking now. I'm loving it. Like a bit of autumn glam. I mean, we can go soft glam with this. I don't think that would be an issue. Bit of soft glam. So I'm just going to take my Morphe B84 and go back in with the A2 and just tidy that up a little bit. Just blend that in to the pigment. Go back in with that brush. Give it a little tidy up. Now, I don't think this is a palette that I would use all the time. I mean, it could be an everyday palette with the neutrals that it's got, but they're very deep neutrals, whereas every day I would wear more lighter neutrals. Does that make sense? More like the A4 there, I would bob that through my crease and have done with it. So you are going to get some really like soft glam looks out of it, which you know you're going to want to get a good few looks out of a palette. This, you know, it's £68 at the end of the day. It's a lot of money to be spending on a palette. So you want to know that you're getting your money's worth out of it, really. Otherwise, what is the point? So I'm just going to go back in with the Makeup Geek. What's wrong with me? Makeup Geek Defined Crease Brush. I'm just going to re-deepen that outer corner and just bring that up a little bit through the crease there. And for the sake of it, let's go back in with B3. Why the hell not? Let's go all out. Let's do it all. So the pressed pigment, because it is more like a pressed pigment, is A2, which was that one that we used there. Has given us a little bit of fallout, but not a lot, not a ridiculous amount. So I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit. Have a little wipe and see how that comes off, and just tighten up my corner there as well, as I'm going to do my under eye now. Okay guys, so that did take a little bit to wipe that off there. It's come off. I had to use a pad and some micellar water. Wipe just wasn't doing it, but it has come off. I didn't have to like really scrub, but I had to make an effort. So I'm just going to put some of the base on my under eye. Just pat that under there, not a lot, just using a tiny little bit that was left on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to pat that in there. I just always like to have a base for my under eye. I don't want it to go too much because you're going to put concealer under there as well, and you don't want it to go cakey or creasy. So I'm going to go back in with this fluffy brush, and I'm going to go back in with B3, tap off, and I'm just going to wipe that under my eyes. Doesn't have to be dead neat because we can tidy up with concealer later on. So just sweep that underneath and sweep that up into your upper lid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my flats. It's a defined crease brush, and I'm going to go in with B2. I'm just going to sweep this right along the lower lashes, hopefully without taking my eye out because I just got the brush in my eye. Just tapping it in and then brushing it along. Okay, so then I'm just going to go back in with E4. I'm just going to do the outer portion, and I'm going to get as close to the corner of the eye as I can, and I'm going to sweep that up into the outer corner there. So we are looking so autumny, but we've got that little pop of shimmer there as well. Loving it. Like that into there. So that is the eye basically done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera, I'm going to do the other eye, and I'm going to do some lashes, and I will be back to do the rest of the face. So guys, that is lashes and mascara done. I use the Ardell Wispy Lashes and my Lancome Volume mascara, which I do love. So my base, I will put an eyeliner on. I think I'm going to use this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Crash. This is like a, I think I've used this in a previous video. It's like a deep purple, and I just think it'll look really nice with this look. So I'm just going to bob that on now and then get the base done. I haven't put mascara on my bottom lashes yet. I generally do that once we've got a little bit of base and powder on there. I don't know why I do it that way, I just do it that way. So my base, I'm going to use my Smashbox Original Photo Frame Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. I love this. I've got this in a little mini. I don't know if anybody buys the minis. I know in Selfridges you can have like little minis, and the same in Boots, and you can just buy those in like little travel sizes. I love buying those to try a product out because I don't want to spend all my money on a product that's mega expensive and then not like it. You know, I watch reviews, I read reviews, I do make a choice about what I buy, but sometimes how it will perform on my skin or look on me is completely different than all the other girls out there or boys out there. It looks, you know, they've got different types of skin. So top tip is if you can get hold of the little minis like that, they are a really good starting point for a makeup collection and for just trying products out without breaking the bank, especially your higher end ones. This just feels so nice. It's like a silicone finish, but it is oil free, so any oily girls out there, you know, it might be worth trying this. I think I got this at Next, and I got a few little Smashbox primers to try. I haven't lost the ability to speak today, I really have. But this one is one that I will purchase the full size of. So that is the primer done. Now for the foundation, I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Longwear Liquid Foundation, and I'm going to use the shade 325, which is a very light shade. I actually have the shade 05, which is an even lighter shade. Sometimes I mix them together depending on how tanned I am at the time. I haven't got much of a tan now because I have been working again, so this is what I'm going to go for. I'm not quite as pale as a 05 yet. Maybe I can use that for Halloween makeup and make a really white base. Who knows? So I'm just going to use this on my Peaches PC19 brush, and I'm just going to put this all up. So give it a shake first, and then put some on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to pick it up with the brush, and I'm going to blend it from my nose and outwards and upwards. I'm just going to blend that all the way around my face. I do love this foundation, it's so nice. Gives you a really good coverage without being too cakey. So concealer, I have got a few concealers to use, high-end ones that I like, and I don't know which one to use, but I have the NARS, and I have this in Light 28, and that's the NARS Creamy Concealer. I do love this. I have the All Nighter, and I have this in Fair Neutral, and I've got this Tarte Shape Tape, and I've got this in Fair Beige. So I do love all three of these. I would recommend these to anyone. They're all expensive. I think this one's 25, I think this one's 20, maybe 15, I'm not sure. I can't remember how much this one was because I bought this in Sephora while I was in Barcelona last year when we could travel. Do you remember those days? So I might use the Tarte Shape Tape because I've not used that for a while. So I generally tend to do one eye at a time with the Tarte Shape Tape because it dries quite quickly. So I'm going to do my high points. I'm just going to give those a quick blend in with my beauty sponge. Back to this. So I'm just going to do up here. You don't need a lot of this. It is really full coverage. So I'm just going to pat that in and pat that through there. And I feel like if I do it this way, it does lift my eyes a bit as well. I'm going to take a fluffy brush as well, and I'm going to blend that up to the line for my under eye. I want to say foundation, but I mean eyeshadow. I don't know what's wrong with it. So I may use a little bit of my Iconic London highlighting drops. And I'm going to do that before I set my face. So I'm going to do my bronzer and blusher before I set the rest of my face, because I don't want to put loads of powder on either, because I don't want to look cakey. So I've got all of these products to use. So I'm going to use, I've got the MAC Mineralized Skinfinish. I like to use these as a bronzer. I've got medium deep on medium, but because the foundation is quite pale, I think I'm going to go in with medium. So I'm just going to take that on my PC04 fluffy brush. Just going to give that a little swirl, tap off, and I'm just going to start to bronze there a little bit. And then let's get both sides done, shall we? The rest of the contour, I'm going to use my old classic favourite, my Anastasia Contour Kit in light to medium. This is it right here. This is well loved and well used. Even though I've not hit pan on this yet, and I feel like I say this in a lot of videos, I've not hit pan on this yet. I haven't got a huge makeup collection that I'm just not hitting pan on stuff. It's just not hit pan. So I know a lot of people don't use these anymore, but I like them. The Chisel Cheek brush, and I just run that across all three very lightly and give myself that really defined cheek. It's not too heavy though. And then I just use the brush to blend it back and up a little bit. Same on the other cheek. Now before I do cheeks, I think I'm going to do my Iconic highlighter. I do love these and I don't use them enough, and they're just so nice. So I'm just going to do one cheek at a time. I'm just going to do a couple of drops. The reason I'm doing this first is because I may go over it, I may not, but I don't want the blusher interfering with it, if you know what I mean, because the blusher I always add up here. So I'm just going to lightly tap that in with my beauty blender. Yeah, I love that. I always feel like it's such a good base for a nice highlighter. I'm just going to do a couple more of those. I'm just going to blend those in as well with that. So, cheeks, my little cheekities. I'm going to use my Benefit Cheek Parade. I think this was £40, but you do get quite a lot in it. So, you get the brush, which I'm going to take out so it doesn't fall out, but you get that brush, which I do use. And you get the Hoola Light, Hoola, the Dandelion, the California and the Rocketeer blushes. So, and these are full sizes as well, they're not trial sizes. I did have a trial size of the Hoola, which I really liked. Then I thought the Hoola Light may be good for when I am more pale, and then I just love blushes, so I got all three blushes. So I'm going to take this on. This is a glow up brush from Beauty Base, actually meant for your highlight up. I like it for blush. So I'm going to take Dandelion. Out of all three, Dandelion is my favourite, it's the most girly, and I just take that there and work it down and then work it into my cheeks there. And obviously the main part of the product will be on the cheek, the apples of the cheeks here, but I do like to work it in and up there, up on the temple as well. It's just so nice. Just love it. Just love blusher. I just go absolutely mad with it. I really do. So highlighter. I'm going to use my most expensive highlighter that I've got, which is the Anastasia Moonchild palette, which looks like this. They are lovely purples and whites, and there's a silver there. That one's called Star. Pink Heart, that one's a gorgeous one. I think that is my favourite, but I do love these as well. I'm not sure how much this is. This is another one my husband bought me, and in fact all three of these are gifts from my husband, so you know, he feeds my makeup addiction. It's just that he doesn't know what to buy me for birthdays and Christmases, and this is what I ask for. So it's a good way to get your collection going though, without spending a lot of money, to ask for things as gifts rather than spending money every single month on things, and you know, it does escalate. It's easily done. Anyway, mum ran over. I'm going to take my PC17 brush, again a Peaches brush, and I think I'm going to go in with Pink Heart, and I'm just going to add to the Iconic highlighter that I've already got down there. I'm just going to add that to my cheekbones. See, I just love this highlighter. Pick a little bit more up, and then in the other cheek. So now I'm going to do my bottom lashes, and we need to do inner corner and brow bone. I'm going to do my bottom lashes first. That's what I'm going to do before I put my powder on. I'm just going to give these a little... Okay, so powder. I wouldn't class this as high-end, but it's not a drugstore either. It's the Kimchi Puff Puff Pass. This is a new discovery of mine, and it's amazing. It's so nice. I love it. So you get a little puff with it, which I do use. I could probably do with washing. But I do use it. You can use a brush if you want to, I suppose, because it is very fine, so it is a little bit messy. Gives me, so I'm actually just gonna bake there. I'm gonna bake there, and then I'm gonna get this brush, and I'm just gonna take that off there because I don't want to bake my chin. And I'm just gonna take any excess and I'm just gonna pat that into my skin. Okay, so while that is baking, I'm just gonna put some more highlighter down my nose because, well, just for the sheer hell of it, really. And a little bit more here and here. Oh, gorgeous. So I'm just going to wipe that bake off. See how easy that just wiped, just done. You are just flawless with it. I'm going to go back into the Anastasia Norvina Volume 4. I'm going to take this Peaches PC07, and this is a pencil brush, but I'm just going to use this to do my inner corner. And what am I going to take? Do I take E2? Do I see what that's about? E2 here. Or A1? I'm thinking E2. So I'm going to see how it goes on a brush into my inner corner anyway. Because again, these are pressed pigments. So they may not perform that well on a brush. But this one has proved me wrong. It's gorgeous. That'd look really nice with these colours rather than the pink. I mean, I do love the pink though, don't get me wrong, but if you wanted to change it up a bit, that would just look amazing as well. So I think I'm going to take Blue Moon, which is this one right here, this like lighter purple. I'm just going to take that on a flat brush, tap it off and just very lightly move that through there. So setting spray, I'm going to use my iconic London Prep Set Glow. Does anyone love like the luminosity of that? Oh god, it's amazing. It's so nice, it smells nice. Let's just give this a spray. I can never decide what this smells of. I think it just smells clean. Does anybody know what I mean? Just clean, just nice, like fresh soap. I'm going to do my lips and then I will be back with my final thoughts on the palette. So guys, that is the finished look. I think it looks amazing. It's turned out so well. For lips I use the YSL, I think it's Tattoo something or other, in the shade 107. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous lip this, and I just thought that the deep berry lip would just go so nice with the berry eyeshadow. So yeah, those are all my favourite high-end products, or what I would say are my more expensive products. Now the palette, what do I think of the palette? Is it worth £68? If you're going to use it, yes, I will use it. If you're starting out in makeup and it's going to be a bit of a fad, then no, don't spend your money. £68 is it's not ridiculous if you're going to use it. It's just a lot of money to spend on one palette. I know I will use this again and again and again. I'll try to create lots of different looks. I'll play, I'll mess. You know, I'm always having a mess and putting it on my Instagram stories or anything like that. You know, I'll come home one night, little boy, I'll go to bed, and then the makeup comes out and 2 hours later I've got this look like this. It's part of the reason I decided to start a YouTube channel, because, you know, if I was having a mess, why not record it and let you guys know what I thought of the products. This is now my most expensive makeup palette. Before that, I think it was like £46 for Anastasia ones, or the Urban Decay ones, which are my most expensive makeup palettes. But this is gorgeous. Let's say you get the huge mirror and those are the colours again there. You're going to be able to create a multitude of looks. You can tell the quality of the shadows. You can tell where your money's gone to get such a lovely palette. It's worth the money to me. I will use this palette again and again and again. If you're going to be starting out in makeup, no, don't spend your money on that. Buy something a little bit cheaper. Start at the lower end palettes. Beauty Bay do amazing ones, Revolution do amazing ones, or start off with the cheaper Anastasia ones if you want to get into more high-end makeup. Start with the smaller palettes. Huda Beauty do smaller palettes. Anastasia do smaller palettes. Although I haven't actually got any Huda Beauty palettes. Maybe I should invest in some. Maybe, no, that's just more money being spent there. Oh, makeup. But yeah, I'm glad I got this palette. I'm glad I asked for it. I would ask for more of the Norvina. I would ask for more. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Why can't I talk? I would ask for more of the Norvina palettes. I may ask for one of the other volumes for Christmas as a Christmas present, because I haven't got another anniversary coming up this year. But yes, I think the look I created was gorgeous. I think it's a brilliant winter berry Christmassy look. I love it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.